first session, okay? And some sort of overview session will be this. And from next week onwards, once we have access into the system, then we can start configurations and others, okay?
Okay. So it will be the same server I'll get access, or how it will?
Yes, I believe so. It will be the same server. So last in demo session, we already discussed, right? Like difference between financial accounting and controlling, right? So so financial accounting, what is financial accounting? Like every country has their own corporate accounting policies, right? And based on that accounting system, every company has to prepare their books of accounts. And quarterly or annually, that balance sheet and profit and loss account, cash statement, that needs to be submitted to the register of companies. So all these books of accounts, that's I mean accounting reports are coming from finance. So what about CO? So apart from this financial like reportings, also we need a lot of other reports, like for management decision making, like profit reporting on cost, reporting on cost of goods sold, reporting on profitability, market segment. So this sort of reporting we are not able to get from FI, and that will be derived from controlling. So the basic purpose of controlling is to for management reporting and various profitability report, segmental report, okay, customer group profitability, then reporting on cost. So that will derive from controlling. So that is the components of CO. So last time also we discussed. So we will conduct our sessions in this order. So initially, when we have this access into the system, so we'll go directly into controlling org structure, okay, and the basic settings. So what are the basic settings required for controlling? That we'll cover first. And after that, we'll slowly start with overhead cost controlling. And in overhead cost controlling, first cost center accounting. And after cost center accounting, so cost center accounting will cover as such, there are not much configurations, only master data, account groups, cost center groups, these are there. And we'll post some documents. We'll see how the reports of cost center. And after that, we'll do allocations like assessment, distributions. We'll do this. For assessment distributions, we need to do some configurations. We need to create cycles. So that allocation part will cover for cost center accounting. And after that, we'll go to internal orders. So internal orders also some configurations required. So here we'll also cover internal order budget. Okay, so actual posting we'll see the planning, and after that we'll come to the budgeting. So this part will complete at the earliest, because we'll spend more time into product costing and COPA, right? And also, Prakash, time to time I'll tell you, like in each topic, what are the probable interview questions should be. Okay, you can parallelly, you can note it down.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And then product cost planning, we'll start with product cost planning and cost object controlling, then actual costing, material ledger. So here we'll spend most of our time. And different scenarios we will be covering in cost object controlling, like make to order scenario, make to stock scenario, then also repetitive manufacturing. So these are the three scenarios available in product costing. So all the three scenarios I will be covering. Also, I'll be running the scenario, configuration scenario, theoretical part, everything I will be covering. And profitability management in COPA. So as you know, we will be doing this into S/4HANA system. So I'll cover the margin analysis, which is account-based COPA. Okay. So in this order, we will be conducting the sessions. Now coming to the org structure. Okay, as you know, the highest level of org structure is operating concern. So operating concern, basically when you create, when you start working in COPA, the first thing you need to create the operating concern. And under operating concern, you will have a controlling area. You can have multiple controlling area assigned to a single operating concern. And under one controlling area, you will have multiple company code. So as the highest structure, the highest in your structure, the highest level is operating concern. But as a CO consultant, if you go into an implementation project, okay, as a CO consultant, you need to start with creating controlling area. So first thing, if you work in a implementation project, the first thing is the finance team. They will create the company code and all the basic settings of company code. And once it is done, company code settings done, then the finance guy will intimate others that, okay, company code setup is complete. Now you can proceed with your your configurations. Then the respective team members, like from CO side, they will start with controlling area configurations. Like from MM side, they will start with planned or their org structures, or as they will start creating their sales area related configurations and others. So first thing is as a FI consultant, they need to create the company code first in the system, and also company code related basic configurations they need to complete. And after that, we can start working on controlling area. So once we create the controlling area, and also some basic settings required for controlling area configurations, that we need to enable. And after that, we need to assign company code with the controlling area. Okay. Then we can move into other sections like cost center accounting, cost element. Those can be done after once your controlling area settings are completed. So operating concern need not be created immediately. You can create operating concern once you start configuring COPA. If you don't implement COPA, there are some companies, they even still they're live, but they don't use COPA. So if you don't use COPA, then you don't need to activate or create operating concern. Any question, Prakash?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So today's session will be short, around half an hour, because I'm not feeling well actually. So today, let's have a half an hour session, and from Monday onwards, it will be a full-fledged session.
Okay. And how about like in general, like FI and CO both are done with the same consultant? That kind of scenarios will be there, or they will be definitely different?
No, generally nowadays, I mean, these are the different modules and FI and CO. Okay, so obviously different consultants are there as a FI and CO. So in earlier days, we used to see like I mean small implementation. Okay, where very small implementations. They generally sometimes that happen that same consultant who is FI CO consultant, he works in both FI and CO both. But generally nowadays, it's a different consultants, FI and CO. It should be like part of finance team. Generally, it calls as a finance team. But in finance team, different consultants are there. Like somebody will deal with finance and somebody will deal with CO. Because think about the manufacturing concern. A manufacturing organization, I mean, a lot of things are into CO. I mean, single person cannot handle both. In FI also, I mean, it's a huge. And CO also, if we have product costing COPA, then it's a huge thing. Okay, so single person cannot handle. There should be, and in most of the projects, I mean, 99% projects, you will see there are different persons in FI and CO.
And how about the support? It will be the same, two different persons?
Support project also, it's different people, but nowadays, you see, in support project, what happened, people who are supporting long time, they generally learn. Who are working in FI, they slowly start learning CO as well. So some people are there, they know both, like FI and CO. They start working in both. But generally, as a team, generally separate resources are there for CO.
Okay, I got it. So in general, why I'm asking this question, like, if any profile, if they are asking something, so we can commit both modules.
Yes, you can. If you, I mean, you can. But thing is, see, there are some trading companies, okay, like who basically trade, who doesn't manufacture. So in that scenario, product costing will not be there because they're basically trading or retail. Think about the retail companies. Okay, they also don't implement product costing. So if you don't implement product costing, then almost the 40% scopes are less in CO. Okay. Now, in that scenario, it's easy for someone to pick CO quickly. Okay, as a FI person, they can pick quickly CO because if you don't have product costing, then you have only cost center, internal order, this sort of things, right? And COPA. So in such scenario, it's easy. I mean, anyone can pick. Okay, but when you have the manufacturing, then you will have the product costing, material ledger, then it's difficult. I mean, it's not easy for somebody to instantly pick. Okay, some people are learning and they grab it. But definitely, yeah, nowadays a lot of people are there. They work in both the areas, FIC.
Okay, that's a scenario with regard, the dimension of the client, but implementing partners, whenever they hire, so they will, give assignments of both. What I mean to say is, they ask both. So suddenly they'll say, okay, go and support this. And after that assignment is over, they'll say, okay, now we will go for supporting fixed assets. So that's where my question is. We can accept both at a time, or no, we have to stick only to CO.
No, that is again your choice. Okay, suppose you're getting some good opportunity and they are asking, okay, you need to support FI and CO both, then you can take it. I mean, it's always, as a good CO consultant, obviously you need to know some areas of FI you must be knowing because it's integrated, right?
Right.
Like apart from that, in FI, there are many things in like payment process, banking, okay, assets. That also you need to learn, right? So if you are comfortable, then you can obviously you can accept. If you have the opportunity is good, then as a both FI and CO, you can take it.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
So what is operating concern? So it's the highest org unit, and it has the sales market has an uniform structure. Okay, so this is the definition, theoretical definition of operating concern. So all the profitability valuations will be at OPCON or operating concern level. And once you do the COPA settings, then we'll see, I mean, what are the settings required for operating concern.
Okay.
And operating concern, once you create operating concern, then the next task is you need to assign controlling area into it. Then your structure is complete. Okay.
Yeah.
And next is controlling area. So what is controlling area? So as I mentioned, the first task you need to complete as a CO consultant is controlling area settings. You need to create the controlling area and activate other settings for controlling area. And so we'll once we get the system, I'll show you how it is and how the settings are activated.
Yeah, I noticed there is a small difference in the organization structure, like profit sectors directly we used to enable in ECC. In S4 HANA, there's a separate configuration.
Right.
So yeah, I was just going through that. So
profit center you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Profit center in ECC, like not ECC, before new GL actually. Okay, you can categorize this way. Before new GL, like you know that new GL document splitting, that is activated in ECC, and before ECC it was not there, new GL. Okay, so in new GL, once the new GL came into picture, so profit center is treated differently. So earlier, what used to have you will have different profits, and once you post a document, you will have accounting document, controlling document, COPA document, material ledger document, and a profit center document. Okay, now you will not have a profit center document because all of your documents are split at segment level, and segments are assigned to a profit center. So you will not have a profit center, but at the document line item levels, you will have the profit center. So at the profit center level, you will get all the reports. Like even if you want, you can draw the balance sheets as well at profit center levels. So we'll come details once we go into the profit center sections. We'll discuss detail.
Yeah. Like I worked in one of the client as a super user. So we used to get separate documents for profit center because before new GL concept.
Right. Yeah. So now in Esperanto, we will see you'll not have any profit center document. Okay.
Yeah. So one question was there. I remember in one of my interviews, they asked me a question regarding characters and value fields. Once everything is done, we want to change. We want to add new value fields or new characters. I don't remember. He said how the transport, how you manage the transport. So I said I never handle it, so I skipped that.
Okay. Yeah, these are common interview questions. So in COPA actually, so once they ask for value fields, then that means it's a costing. They're using costing based COPA. Yeah, there is like in COPA what happened. The COPA structure, so characteristics and value fields, these are basically part of your COPA structure. Like in operating concern, once we create the operating concern, we need to assign these characteristics and value fields into this structure. So, in a live scenario, what happens? So, once you create a new, suppose your organization is live and they are having operating concern and they are having 20 characteristics and 50 value fields already having. Now the new requirement came to create additional 2 characteristics and 5 value fields. So what you need to do? You need to create this new characteristic value fields. You need to create those, and then these characteristics value fields you need to activate, and you need to assign this to your operating concern in development system. Okay, and after that, transport is a little bit tricky here. You cannot, this newly characteristic and value fields, you cannot transport individually. Once you do change anything, any fields in the structure of operating concern, so whole table you need to transport. So there is a separate T code is given, KE3I. So with that actually, whole table, whole operating concern you need to transport. So from development to quality, quality to production. And once you move the change, what happened? If you do any change into operating concerns, it become inactive. Okay. So what you need to do? You need to immediately activate it into production. Otherwise, what will happen? If it is inactive, then nobody will be able to post any document in sales related or financial related, anything will not be able to. So this is the, so I'll tell you, I'll show you how to activate operating concern. Okay, how it is transported, how to activate characteristics and value fields, that I'll show. But this is the process. And and there are also some norms some company follows, because operating system is very sensitive. Like if you do change anything, it becomes inactive. And think about if you move the changes sometime in sometime like business is operating, okay, and immediately all works will be stopped. Nobody will be able to post, like end user. Think about end user's perspective. Everything will be stopped. Nobody will be able to post anything. So that will create a big issue. So for that, most of the companies, what they do, they generally move this sort of changes, any change in operating concern, into non-business hours. Okay, and support team will be there. So after moving the changes into production, somebody will be there. They immediately regenerate operating concern, so that next day when business starts, they they should not, I mean, face any issue in their operations.
Okay.
So next is important thing is versions. So what is versions? So like this is also part of your controlling area. So once you do the controlling area settings, so versions also we need to activate. So what is versions? So you can have different planning activities. Like if you want to, so there is a version 0, which is by default it's created. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to activate this version 0 for our controlling area and controlling area and also the fiscal year. Like we are into 2022, if we create a new controlling area, then we need to activate this 0 version for our new controlling area and for this year 2022. So generally what we do, like 2022, 23, 24, like 3-4 years, we generally in advance we generally keep creating, so that it doesn't create any trouble at any time. And 0 version is by default planning and actual postings happen at this version, 0 versions. And if you want to create for other planning versions, like for if you want to do some sales planning, you can create another versions. Okay. Now coming to the currencies. So what are the currencies in controlling? Or maybe not only in controlling, let's talk in overall. What are the currencies available in SAP? So before S/4HANA, we had the options, like these are the options we had. So in CC, in our ERP, we had in FI 3 currencies. Okay, local currency, then the global currency, and one more hard currency. Another third currency you can create, and 2 currencies in CO, like controlling area currency and object currency, and 3 currencies in ML. So ML also we can have 3 currencies maximum. Like whatever the currencies we defined in FI, it's the same 3 currencies we can activate in material ledger. So that is the scenario in SAP ECC. Now, in S/4HANA, what happened? They have extended this. So as you know, the SCTOCA is the universal journal. So we can have maximum 10 currencies. Okay, first one is, so earlier we had 3 currencies, now we have 10 currencies. So first one is the local currency, second one is the global currency, and additional 8 freely defined currencies we'll have. Okay, so that is a change in currencies in S/4HANA, but that is in FI. But in CO, it's remains same. Still, we'll be using 2 currencies. We'll be having like controlling area currency and object currency. And also in material ledger, we can define maximum 3 currency. Any question?
No question.
So this slide also last time we discussed, right? I mean, what was the major challenge in architecture before we had, I mean, into ECC basically? What are the major challenge? Like, then this is the currencies we discussed, right? So earlier we had in ECC actually, these are the in FI 3 currencies, CO2 currencies, and 3 currencies in ML. Currently, we have in S4HANA in FI total 10 currencies: local currency, global currency, and you can define additional 8 freely defined currencies.
So that scenario was like, that's an option, like you have 8 free currencies. But for client level, I think there will be again 3 definitely currencies. I think one hard currency or something like that. Each client will have.
Yes, yes. Yeah, definitely. Now, earlier in ECC, actually, you had the option only to define maximum three currency. Okay. So definitely we'll have the local currency, then global currency, and a hard currency. Third one is the hard currency.
Okay.
Now you have the option to define max up to 10 currencies. Okay.
So this is a client level.
Yes, yes, there is a client level.
Okay.
The currencies you will be defining at client level, but this activation, okay, that is at company code level. Each company could have different currency, right? Suppose I have a company code at India, so my local currency will be INR, Indian rupees, right? And maybe I can define my global currency as USD. Then I want to activate some other currencies. Maybe I can activate Euro, I can activate maybe Japanese yen, something like that, as per my choice, as per my requirement. So now we have the option to define up to 10 currency for one company code. Again, suppose you have a company code at Canada, right? Now for your company code, you will define your local currency is CAD, right? And maybe you can define the global currency as USD. And so it's a currency is activation, it depends on the company code. Company code, company to company, it will differ. Okay. So here another thing we will discuss, earlier in ECC, what are the challenges we had for each of the component used to store into different tables, okay, like asset, material ledger, GL, CO, COPA, everything used to be into different tables. So if you post any document, okay, so it will store into different tables, line item tables, total tables, then index tables, different same information used to store into different tables. And for that, actually, reconciliation required. Reconciliation with FI and CO, FI and COPA, FI material ledger, FI and assets. So different sort of reconciliations are required. So this is now removed with the invention of Universal Journal or SCDOCA. So this is the table they have created in S4HANA, which basically integrates everything into same table. So here, if you post any document, everything will be posted here, like GL, AP, ER, CO, asset, material ledger. Okay, even if you are using costing-based, account-based COPA, that also will be part of your universal journal. But if you are using costing-based COPA, then still it will be into different tables. Any questions?
I think there was one question like this. One of the interviews asked me, what do you suggest for cost, whether it is cost based or account based for S4HANA? Then I said, because the table is very simple, so we can go ahead with the account based
Right.
in S/4HANA.
Right. Even SAP also suggests to activate account-based COPA uh, because you see here it is integrated. Okay, so it's a part of your universal journal. So you don't need to reconcile. Otherwise, if you use the costing-based COPA, then you need to reconcile. FI and COPA you need to reconcile. And reconciliation is a huge, it's a tedious task. Okay, because FI and COPA never matches. In when you use the costing-based COPA, it's never matches. There are differences in cost of goods sold. Okay, so you need to reconcile every month. So, and it's a big exercise for business. It's never matching. Then they will come up with the incident like for a support team, like why it's not matching. Then consultant will start analyzing. They will identify. They will share something. So these sort of activities are it's a recurring activity. Every month they will have. So if you
How
use
about the end client? How about the end client? The end client will be convinced. Suppose in ECC they are already maintaining cost based, and we still have to create, or we can suggest no, this is better.
yeah, end client because see, think about the users. What happened in ECC? In ECC, SAP marketed like anything for costing-based COPA. Okay, and most of the clients, okay, who are using COPA, it's costing-based only. Okay, now suddenly in S/4HANA, so migration into account-based, it's a bit issue for them because they are habituated using costing-based. Now SAP is asking, okay, migrate into account-based, but what the end user, I mean the end clients, what they are asking, they're saying we are comfortable with costing-based, but why should we use account-based, right? That questions are raising. They are raising these questions, but the SAP's standpoint is, see, the facilities or the features what we had in costing-based COPA, all these features are now available into account-based COPA. Okay. And second thing is, in addition to that, you have a lot of activities that are, removed in account-based COPA because it's now part of universal journal and no further reconciliation required. This is the addition, and also with this universal journal, you can do reporting. You can play your reporting. You can like create any sort of reporting very easily. That's why SAP is and convincing clients to use account-based COPA, but the clients who are not very sure to move into account-based COPA, what SAP suggests, okay, you activate both account-based and costing-based. Okay, you use costing-based COPA as it is, and also start using account-based as well. You see the reports, you see the flexibilities, you see the options what we have in account-based COPA. And once you are comfortable, like 2, 3, 4, 6 months, if you are comfortable on using the account-based COPA, then slowly you deactivate costing-based COPA. So these way actually SAP is trying to like convince clients to move from costing-based to account-based. But in new implementation, most of the cases you will see it's account-based COPA only.
Okay.
And this account-based COPA now it's they change the name as well. And now it's they're saying margin analysis.
Okay.
So this is another change in master data in S/4HANA actually. Now earlier secondary cost elements, right? In ECC, so what are the secondary cost elements like
any
settlement,
distribution, any
right?
adjustments we have to do, we have to use the secondary cost.
Secondary cost elements, right? So earlier it used to be separate into CO. We don't need to create GL. So now in S4, we have the separate category of GL as a secondary cost. and you need to create the GL. Because why SAP is, why this change? Because now everything is in SAP. Everything is integrated into SAP. So secondary cost also you need to create as a GL. Once you create the GL, these are the four types, four options, account types you will have: balance sheet, non-operating expense, primary cost, secondary cost. Okay. Any questions?
No, it's clear.
Okay, so I'll end today here, and we'll continue from Monday.
Okay, fine. Thank you.